Hello, and my name is Vin Shembray. I'm the president of Wazoo Technologies, and I want to tell you today about the fakeness in the accounting and bookkeeping industry. I've always had a love for numbers ever since I can remember. And when I was in high school in my later years, I was asked the question that most people, say that they've been asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? But my way was asked, what do you want to do when you're out of school? And honestly, the only thing I could come up with is, what do I do with numbers? And my teacher at the time, she says, well, you could go into sciences, mathematics. And I had already looked at those possibilities and I just wasn't interested. And then she said, well, what about accounting? And I said, well, what's that? And she asked me to sit down and says, here, let me show you let me show you what it is. And she brought out some ledger paper, which had columns and rows. And she explained, how things are captured on this kind of paper. On the rows, you add in the type of expense, and then you every day you list what those are. And then you have totals at the end of the month. And I thought, well, okay. She says, here's a suggestion. Why don't you take a course and that we're offering and see what you think of it. Well, I took it and I loved it right off the bat. And there was a second course. I took that one. I loved it even more. I got straight A's. And all of a sudden I realized that, what? Here was a way to use numbers to predict a final outcome over time. I recognized it right away because what it was the recording, the accounting for what we call people's habits, and they repeat themselves, whether it's business or personal. So I got to see this, and sure enough, that's the path that I went on, excited about being able to predict a predictable outcome. And I started out with pen and paper, and lo and behold, spreadsheets came in, and that was a revelation. And the reason it was a revelation is because when we create financial information, it's not on one sheet, it's on multiple sheets. And with pen and paper, my biggest issue was, well, how do I make sure that a piece of information that's on this piece of paper is transported over to another piece of paper that's affected, and so on and so on? Well, spreadsheets resolve that issue because we have cell references. But the issue with spreadsheets was it didn't have a systemized way to produce the information in a way that is recognized by everybody else. Well, that was solved with accounting and bookkeeping software. Because now all you had to do is take the information, put it into the modules, and you could print out whatever reports you wanted. And I thought I'd died and gone to heaven, to be honest with you, because now I had a way to enter my data and produce the reports for my clients. And this started out really well because what had happened is I have a client, then I had 2, then I had 4, then I had 8, then I had 16, then I had 32, and then it just went from there. And the issue that happened is it's all manual labor, all the way through. So even from pen and paper to spreadsheets to accounting software. And after a while, month after month, year after year, it kind of got to me. And to be honest with you, I just wanted out. I got to the point where I felt like a fake because what had happened is originally I started out with the intent of producing data for my clients that gave them the opportunity to see what was happening and therefore be able to predict the future. But over time, as this went on and on and on and on, even though I had other people, what had happened is that the end user now turned out to be the government entities who wanted to know about their corporate income tax, their sales tax, their payroll tax, their other taxes, and WCB and so on. And the client's paying for it. And I thought, this isn't right. This is fake. This is not what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be for my client, but I just couldn't get it done in a timely fashion, and it wasn't relevant at all. So, and I found out that the industry is exactly the same. It wasn't indifferent. And that's what I mean by the fakeness of the accounting and bookkeeping industry. Everybody's doing exactly the same thing. We're reporting information 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, 6 months out. How relevant, useful is that to the client that we're supposed to be serving who's paying for the bill? It wasn't. It got to the point where I just had enough and I wanted out. That was it. I just wanted out. I wanted to change. Being a man of faith, I prayed about it. I said, Lord, show me a better way or I'll go find something else to do. And sure enough, when I pray those kinds of prayers, I get the answer. And the answer came in the form of cloud accounting software. And I happen to see it with Xero, and I'm using them even to this day. And what I realized was that the software answered the question, can I produce relevant information, financial information that is useful to my clients that they can use to have an advantage in business and or know where they are today when it was information that happened today? And the answer is yes. That is exactly what would happen. I got really, really, really excited because all of a sudden, what I had seen in the initial stages was now available. But not only that, it was relevant because The machines do the work. It's not humans anymore. If you code the information properly in this piece of software, it will produce what you want. And not only that, now they have what we call OCR technology. You can actually grab your receipt and use a piece of software called HubDoc on your mobile phone, take a picture of that receipt, and what it does is it reads the receipt. It reads what? It reads the date. It reads, where you went, like it could be the vendor or Starbucks, whoever it is. It reads the amount, and you can also extract the taxes and take that receipt and information and push it right over to the accounting software, and it matches with the bank feeds as well. So now you've got information from the actual receipt to the accounting software, and they match. And guess what you do with those receipts? You can throw them away. Another major hang up gone, because now not only can you be automated, but you can be paperless as well. I mean, I didn't like, and I'm sure clients don't like, building up all their receipts, putting them in a shoebox, and then giving it to the bookkeepers or accountants. I don't like it. Accountants don't like it. And one of the reasons that we don't like it is because it's too much paper and it all comes at once. And how are we going to know what actually happened? But if it happens on an ongoing basis as it's happening, you can get those answers, and it can be done properly. And that's what I love about it. But not only that, the software allows us to also get what? Bank and credit card statements. It actually pulls them electronically as well. And there's also a way to get them in there. So if you don't have paper receipts, it can also accept PDF copies and also emails as well. And it will extract the information. Can you imagine that? As a business owner, you never got involved in the business to wear another hat, an accounting, bookkeeping hat. This removes all those issues. And the other thing that I also had when I was in the when I didn't want to do bookkeeping, for me, it was avoidance. But I've even heard people say, accountants and bookkeepers say things like this: it's a necessary evil. Can you imagine? The foundation of numbers, bookkeeping, is viewed by us as a necessary evil, or in my case, avoidance. Can you see it in the construction industry? If a contractor, right, he's going to build a building, whether it's a house, an apartment building, or a tower of some sort, and he's avoiding the actual building of the foundation, or worst of all, he calls it a necessary evil. How long would these things stand? Well, they wouldn't. Well, it's true also in the paper world, in the financial world. If this is how you view it, how can you expect your end result to be any good if your beginning is viewed as the necessary evil, or like me, avoiding it? It won't be. So here's what I'm saying to you. What I'm saying to you is that those tasks that you don't want, we've bundled it together. We bundled it so you don't have to worry about it. Our offering not only provides you the software, but it provides you the actual bookkeeping. We actually love to do it because the machines do the work and we just monitor it. So if this is something that you want to remove from your plate so that you can actually, when you're done your work, instead of putting on another hat, you can actually rest. That's a novel concept. You can go and be with your family, another novel concept. You can actually take vacations, another novel concept, or actually put up your feet and do absolutely nothing. Wouldn't that be great? Come join us. Come find out what we can offer you so that you can actually have the life that you designed, as opposed to having to wear another cap on evenings and weekends to do accounting and bookkeeping, which we love to do. Thank you so much for listening, and I can't wait to talk to you further.